Imagine standing at the edge of a high diving board, looking down at the deep blue water below. Your heart races, and your palms sweat. You've dreamed for weeks about this moment, taking the plunge and showing everyone how brave you are. But as you gaze into the depths, doubt creeps in. What if you don't make the jump? What if you belly flop? Suddenly, your dreams feel heavy, and fear wraps around you like a thick blanket. Many of us have experienced moments where fear holds us back from achieving our dreams. It could be fear of failure, rejection, or even the unknown. Think about a time when you wanted to try something new, a school play, joining a sports team, or even making new friends. That fear can feel overwhelming, and it can stop you in your tracks, much like it did when you stood on that diving board. This feeling of fear is universal. Throughout history, people have faced fears that seem insurmountable. In the Bible, we see moments when fear grasped the hearts of even the bravest individuals. Take Peter, for example. When he walked on water toward Jesus, he felt empowered until he noticed the wind and waves around him. In that moment of doubt, he began to sink. Fear can do that, it pulls us down just when we are trying to rise above. That's where Jesus steps in with his powerful words, "Be not afraid." He said these words not only to his disciples but to all of us, reminding us that we don't need to let fear control our lives. Jesus understood our struggles because he walked among us. He faced adversity, loneliness, and challenges yet never succumbed fully to fear. But why did Jesus urge us not to be afraid? His message is deeply rooted in faith and trust. When he tells us not to fear, he invites us to lean on him during tough times instead of letting anxiety paralyze us. Just like taking that leap off the diving board into the water below can lead to exhilarating freedom, trusting in Jesus allows us to embrace life's challenges more fully. As we reflect on this, it's important to remember that each time we face our fears with courage and trust in God's plan, we grow stronger. Picture yourself stepping off that diving board, feelings of uncertainty morph into joy as you splash into the water below. Jesus reminds us that on the other side of fear lies growth, confidence, and a deeper connection to him. In your life today, what fears are holding you back? What dreams are waiting for you just beyond that leap? Let's take a moment to think about how we can embrace Jesus' words, "Be not afraid," and let them guide us as we navigate our own journeys with faith and hope. As we think about fear and how it holds us back, let's turn our attention to a powerful phrase, "Be not afraid." This simple yet profound message is woven throughout the Bible, showing up in different contexts and situations. Each time it appears, it's like a gentle reminder from Jesus that we don't have to let fear control our lives. In the Old Testament, we can find God reassuring his people with similar words. When Joshua was preparing to lead the Israelites into the Promised Land, God encouraged him by saying, "Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid, do not be discouraged." This reassurance was vital because Joshua faced daunting challenges ahead. Yet, God's words were a promise that he would be with him every step of the way. Fast forward to the New Testament, where we see Jesus continually encouraging his followers not to fear. For example, after a long night of fishing without success, Peter and his companions saw Jesus walking on water. Peter was terrified at first, but Jesus called out to him, "Take courage. It is I, don't be afraid." In this moment, we witness how Jesus not only acknowledges Peter's fear but also offers him comfort and encouragement to rise above it. Throughout his ministry, Jesus reiterated this message during crucial moments. When he calmed the storm raging around him while his disciples panicked in the boat, he turned to them and said, "Why are you so afraid? Do you still have no faith?" Here, we understand that fear is often rooted in doubt. Jesus invites us to trust instead in his presence and power. The importance of this message cannot be overstated. Fear can silence our hopes and dreams, it can blur our vision of what's possible. By repeatedly telling us, "Be not afraid," Jesus emphasizes that fear should not define us or dictate our actions. His teachings remind us that faith is stronger than fear and that there is so much more waiting for us if we're willing to step into the unknown. Consider all those times you felt anxious about something new, maybe starting a new job or moving to a different place. Think about how those feelings of dread can often cloud your judgment or make you hesitate when you really want to take action. But when you remember who guides you, that loving voice saying, "Be not afraid," it becomes easier to embrace those changes with courage. So as we explore this message further, let's keep in mind that while fear is natural, it does not have to rule our lives. Instead, we can lean on Jesus' words as a source of strength and comfort as we navigate our own journeys filled with uncertainty and potential. Let's open ourselves up to the truth behind his message and allow it to transform our hearts today. As we explore the theme of fear in the Bible, let's take a closer look at moments when fear profoundly impacted the lives of individuals. These stories illustrate how fear can shake our confidence but also how faith can lift us above it. One vivid example is found in the Gospel of Mark, where the disciples find themselves in a boat during a fierce storm. The wind roars, and waves crash over the sides, filling the boat with water. In this moment of chaos, the disciples are filled with panic and dread. They cry out to Jesus, who is asleep in the stern. "Teacher, don't you care if we drown?" they plead. Their fear clouds their faith, making them forget that Jesus is with them. But Jesus awakens and commands the wind and waves to be still, reminding them, "Why are you so afraid? Do you still have no faith?" This powerful scene teaches us that even in our stormiest moments, those times when fear feels overwhelming, Jesus is present and capable of bringing peace. Another notable instance of fear in the Bible occurs with Mary during the Annunciation. When the angel Gabriel appears to her with startling news that she will bear the Son of God, Mary is understandably afraid. The angel begins by saying, "Do not be afraid, Mary, you have found favor with God." Mary's initial fear of the unexpected changes her life forever is met with reassurance from Gabriel. Despite her fears, she responds with courage, saying, "I am the Lord's servant. May your word to me be fulfilled." Here, we see how fear can arise from incredible news or major life changes but can be transformed into faith through trust in God's plan. These stories reflect that fear is a natural response to uncertainty and overwhelm, yet they also highlight God's persistent reassurance to us. In times when we feel lost or afraid, we can turn to these biblical accounts for comfort and guidance. The disciples' fear in the storm reminds us that even those who walk closely with Jesus can struggle with doubt. Meanwhile, Mary's bravery in accepting her calling teaches us that sometimes our greatest fears lead to our most significant blessings. In our own lives today, think about situations that make you feel anxious or fearful. Maybe it's starting a new job, facing a health challenge, or stepping outside your comfort zone. Like the disciples and Mary, we can acknowledge our fears but choose to respond with faith and trust in God's goodness. Remember Jesus' words, "Be not afraid." This message invites us to embrace courage in the face of fear and to recognize that we do not face life's storms alone. As we reflect on these biblical stories, let them inspire us to move forward boldly in our lives, knowing that God walks alongside us every step of the way. As we delve deeper into the message of "Be not afraid," it's essential to explore how Jesus himself responded to fear during his time on earth. His calming presence and reassuring words offer powerful lessons for us when we face our own fears. One notable moment occurs during the storm on the Sea of Galilee, where Jesus and his disciples find themselves in a precarious situation. The wind howls, and waves crash violently against the boat, threatening to capsize it. In this moment of chaos, the disciples are terrified, consumed by panic as they believe their lives are in danger. Yet, in the midst of this turmoil, Jesus remains calm. He stands up, rebukes the wind, and says to the sea, "Peace, be still." Instantly, the storm quiets down, and a great calm settles over the waters. This miraculous event is not just about mastering nature, it's also about addressing fear directly. When Jesus asks his disciples, "Why are you so afraid? Do you still have no faith?" he highlights a crucial point: fear often stems from doubt. His presence in that boat was meant to remind them that they were not alone. Jesus' ability to bring peace amidst the storm reveals that faith can conquer fear even in life's most turbulent moments. Another profound example of Jesus' response to fear happens in the Garden of Gethsemane before his crucifixion. Knowing the suffering that lies ahead, Jesus feels deep anguish and dread. He retreats to pray, expressing his sorrow to God while asking if there is any way to bypass this painful destiny. Here, we see Jesus not shying away from fear but confronting it head-on through prayer and connection with his Father. "My soul is overwhelmed with sorrow to the point of death," he confesses, yet he ultimately submits his will to God's plan. "Not my will, but yours be done." This moment teaches us that acknowledging our fears is part of being human and that seeking God's strength through prayer can provide the comfort we need. In both instances, calming the storm and praying in the garden, Jesus demonstrates that fear is a natural part of life but also shows us how to respond to it. He embodies reassurance and peace, inviting us to lean on him whenever we feel overwhelmed. Now, Think about your own experiences when fear has knocked on your door. Have you ever felt like your personal storms were too much to handle? In those moments, remember that just as Jesus calmed the raging seas for his disciples, he is present in your life today, ready to bring peace into your chaos. So when you face uncertainty or feel afraid, remember that Jesus understands your struggles. He invites you to cast your fears upon him and trust in his calming presence. Embrace his words, "Be not afraid." Let these words resonate within you as a reminder that with faith and trust in Jesus, you can find courage amid your fears and navigate life's storms with confidence. As we continue to explore the theme of fear, let's take a moment to understand what fear symbolizes in our lives today. Fear is often more than just an emotion, it represents deeper struggles that many of us face daily: anxiety about the future, fear of failure, and the worries associated with rejection. Imagine you're sitting down at a job interview, your heart racing, palms sweaty. This moment symbolizes more than just seeking employment, it embodies the fear of rejection and the uncertainty of what lies ahead. What if they don't like me? What if I don't get the job? These questions flood your mind, making it hard to focus. However, this fear can prevent you from presenting your true self and showcasing your talents. In today's world, anxiety about the future can feel all-consuming. With so many changes happening around us, whether it's related to work, relationships, or even global events, it's easy to feel overwhelmed by what's next. We often find ourselves questioning, am I making the right choices? Will everything turn out okay? Such thoughts can paralyze us with fear instead of pushing us forward. Now consider failure. Many people let the fear of failing stop them from trying new things. This fear can seem like a dark cloud hovering over ambitions and dreams. It whispers doubts into our minds: what if I fail, or what if I disappoint others? Such concerns can cause hesitation when we should instead be taking risks that could lead to personal growth and fulfillment. Rejection is another powerful symbol of fear that affects everyone at some point in life. Whether it's a failed relationship, not being accepted into a group, or even feeling left out amongst friends, these experiences can be heartbreaking. The pain of rejection speaks volumes about our need for acceptance and belonging. However, it also teaches us resilience and pushes us toward reflection on our self-worth. Through all these examples, anxiety about the future, fear of failure, and dread of rejection, we see that fear often disguises itself as protective but can become a barrier preventing us from living life to its fullest. While the presence of fear is natural, Jesus invites us to confront it with courage. Think back on his words, "Be not afraid." In acknowledging our fears without letting them dictate our actions, we open ourselves to new possibilities. Just like Peter stepping out onto the water or Mary saying yes to an unexpected path, we too can take brave steps forward despite the uncertainty. As you navigate through your own fears, whether they are related to everyday struggles or bigger life changes, remember that you are not alone. Jesus' message reminds us that there is strength in vulnerability, and through faith in him, we can transform those fears into opportunities for growth and deeper connection with ourselves and others. So when you feel anxiety creeping in or those familiar feelings of rejection arise, pause for a moment. Breathe deeply and embrace Jesus' invitation to rise above your fears with confidence and hope, knowing that he walks beside you every step of the way. As we explore the deeper meaning behind Jesus' words, "Be not afraid," we begin to uncover a hidden message that resonates through time and speaks directly to our hearts. At its core, this phrase is an invitation to trust, to hold on to faith, and to embrace hope in God's plan for each of us. Consider how often we allow fear to blind us from seeing the bigger picture. Fear can make everything feel uncertain and out of control, leading us to doubt ourselves and our choices. But Jesus invites us to look beyond that fear. When he says, "Be not afraid," he reassures us that we are never alone in our struggles. He understands the confusion and anxiety we face and wishes for us to learn how to navigate those feelings with faith and trust in him. Take, for example, the story of a young woman faced with a daunting decision about her career. She has dreams of pursuing her passion, but fears failure lurks around every corner. Every time she considers taking the leap, doubts flood her mind. What if I'm not good enough? What if it doesn't work out? Yet, in these moments of hesitance, she must remember what Jesus teaches us with his comforting words. By trusting in God's plan, she can find the courage to step forward bravely and pursue what truly matters to her. Jesus' assurance is more than just a command, it's an invitation to foster a relationship built on trust. This trust embodies faith, the belief that even amidst uncertainty and challenges, God has a purpose for each of our lives. In moments of doubt or when facing seemingly insurmountable obstacles, we can turn back to these words as a reminder that God walks alongside us, ready to guide us through our fears. Moreover, this message extends into the realm of hope. Hope allows us to envision a future where fear does not dominate our decisions or weigh down our spirits. When Jesus encourages us with, "Be not afraid," he paints a picture of possibility, of the life we can live when we embrace our faith. Imagine facing life's challenges armed with hope instead of fear. The way becomes clearer. Whether it's approaching a difficult conversation with someone you care about or standing up for what you believe in despite opposition, hope drives us forward with resilience. So reflect on your own life. Where do you find yourself wrestling with fear? Is it in relationships, career choices, or personal growth? By taking time to acknowledge those fears while embracing Jesus' invitation to trust in divine guidance, you shift your perspective. Let his calming presence wash over your worries today. As you move through life's uncertainties, remember the hidden strength found in faith and trust, because when you live by those values, fear starts to lose its power over you. Allow Jesus' reassuring words to take root in your heart, "Be not afraid." You'll discover that such simple encouragement can lead you toward profound transformation and courage as you navigate your unique journey ahead. As we reflect on Jesus' powerful message of, "Be not afraid," it's essential to consider how we can apply this wisdom to our everyday lives. Fear can often feel paralyzing, but facing it with courage can open doors to new possibilities and growth. Here are some real-life applications that demonstrate how we can embody this message. Imagine a student preparing for a big exam. The fear of failure looms large, creating anxiety and self-doubt. Instead of succumbing to that fear, she decides to embrace Jesus' words. She takes a moment to pray, asking for guidance and peace. Then, rather than stressing over what might go wrong, she creates a study plan, breaking down the material into manageable parts. By focusing on her preparations with faith in her abilities, she transforms her anxiety into action, ultimately boosting her confidence and performance. Now consider someone who has experienced rejection, perhaps from a job application or a relationship. That sting of disappointment can lead to feelings of unworthiness and fear of putting oneself out there again. However, this is where the message of, "Be not afraid," becomes crucial. Instead of allowing fear to dictate their actions, they can remind themselves that rejection is not a reflection of their value. By leaning into their faith, they can find the strength to apply for new opportunities or seek new relationships, knowing that each experience brings them closer to the right fit. Another example involves someone facing health challenges or an uncertain diagnosis. It's easy to feel overwhelmed by fear when confronted with the unknown, but here's where trust plays a vital role. A person might turn to prayer or meditation, seeking comfort in God's presence. They could also seek support from loved ones or community groups who share their experiences. By confronting their fears with openness and courage, they not only find strength for themselves but also inspire others around them to do the same. Let's not forget about those moments when we need to speak up for ourselves or others, whether at work or in social situations. It's common to feel nervous about expressing opinions or standing against injustice due to the fear of backlash or isolation. But by remembering Jesus' encouragement, individuals can gather their courage and speak out confidently. This act not only empowers them but also sets an example for others who may be hesitant. As you think about these examples, reflect on your own fears and how they may be holding you back. Whether it's fear of failure in your career, anxiety about personal relationships, or worries regarding health and well-being, acknowledge those fears without letting them control you. Embrace Jesus' words as a reminder that you have the strength to face challenges head-on. In moments when fear creeps in, take a deep breath and remember that you are not alone. Trust in God's plan for your life and lean into faith for support. When you choose courage over fear, you open yourself up to new experiences, deeper connections, and personal growth. So as you navigate your unique journey, remember, be not afraid. Let these words inspire you as you confront your fears with bravery and hope, knowing that with faith as your foundation, there is so much more waiting for you just beyond those fears. Imagine standing in front of a crowd, heart racing, palms sweaty, as you prepare to share your story. This was the situation I found myself in one fateful evening when I had the opportunity to speak at a local community gathering. While I knew I had something important to say, fear gripped me tightly. Memories of past experiences flooded my mind, times when nerves got the best of me and left me feeling small and unnoticed. But as I stood backstage waiting for my turn, I remembered Jesus' words, "Be not afraid." It was in that moment that my perspective began to shift. I recalled how many times fear had tried to hold me back, whether it was sharing my thoughts in class, taking a leap into new ventures, or even pursuing personal relationships. The undeniable truth is that fear often masquerades as protection, but its true nature is to keep us from our potential. Before walking out onto that stage, I took a deep breath and closed my eyes for a moment of prayer. I asked for clarity and strength not just for myself, but for anyone who might find inspiration in my words. Instead of focusing on how I might stumble or what people would think, I reminded myself about the value of sharing my journey and the possibility it could create for others. When the host called my name, I stepped forward fueled by faith rather than fear. As I spoke about my struggles and triumphs, moments filled with anxiety and self-doubt, I could feel a connection forming with the audience. Each word spilled forth from my heart, reflecting experiences we all shared. To my surprise, the more I spoke from a place of vulnerability, the more confident I became. With each passing moment, I realized that fear is not meant to paralyze us but can serve as a catalyst for growth and connection. When I finished speaking, there was an incredible response. People approached me afterwards with tears in their eyes and stories similar to mine. They thanked me for sharing because it gave them courage to confront their own fears. This experience truly encapsulated the essence of Jesus' message: facing our fears opens pathways to healing and unity with others. So, as you reflect on your own experiences with fear, take a moment to consider how it too has shaped you, how it has pushed some buttons while holding back your progress. Perhaps fear has prevented you from pursuing dreams or sharing your authentic self. Remember, Jesus calls us to rise above those fears through faith. Think about what steps you can take today to confront your anxieties head-on, a conversation you've avoided, a goal you've hesitated to chase, or simply expressing how you truly feel. Trust that with each brave step forward, you are embracing the strength God offers you. Like the moments on stage where I transformed my fear into courage through faith and connection, you too can transform your life by understanding that on the other side of fear awaits opportunity and fulfillment. Embrace Jesus' reassuring words, "Be not afraid," and let them inspire you to step boldly into whatever lies ahead. Your story matters, don't be afraid to share it. As we bring our conversation to a close, let's take a moment to reflect and act on the powerful message of "Be not afraid." This isn't just about acknowledging fear, it's about transforming it into fuel for growth. Now is the time for you to take an important step in your journey of faith. I invite you to pause for a moment. Grab a piece of paper or open a notes app on your device. Think deeply about the fears that have been weighing you down. Perhaps it's fear of failure in your career, anxiety about your relationships, or worry about the future. Whatever it is, write it down. Be honest with yourself, there is power in recognizing and naming what frightens you. Next, I want you to take that list and hold it close to your heart for a moment. These fears are real, and acknowledging them is the first step towards releasing their hold over you. As Jesus encourages us with his comforting words, "Be not afraid," know that you do not have to carry these burdens alone. Now, let's shift our focus. I encourage you to pray, speak directly to God about these fears. Ask for strength, guidance, and courage to move past them. You might say something like, "Lord, I am afraid of, insert fear. Please grant me the strength to face it with faith." This prayer is not just a request, it's an opening up of your heart to divine intervention in your life. Once you've written down your fears and taken a moment to pray about them, think about who else might benefit from your experience. Consider sharing this journey with someone, a trusted friend, family member, or even within your community or church group. Your story of facing fear can inspire others who are struggling with their own anxieties. When we share our experiences with fear and faith, we create connections that weave us closer together in love and support. Think back to those moments when someone shared their journey with you, how it inspired courage within you. By being vulnerable and authentic about our struggles with fear, we help lift others out of their own darkness. As you embark on this journey beyond fear today, remember that each step you take toward embracing faith brings new possibilities into view. Trust that God has a plan uniquely crafted for each of us, a path waiting just beyond what we perceive as obstacles. So as we conclude our time together today, remind yourself of Jesus' loving words, "Be not afraid." Let this mantra echo in your heart as you confront whatever challenges may lie ahead. With faith and community by your side, continue to push forward confidently into the life God has designed for you, one filled with purpose, hope, and fulfillment. Now take that first courageous step forward, write down those fears, pray over them, share your journey, and watch how God works wonders in transforming those fears into stepping stones toward extraordinary opportunities ahead. Your story matters. Don't hesitate to reclaim your life filled with faith over fear. As we conclude our exploration of Jesus' profound message, "Be not afraid," let's take a moment to summarize the key points we've discussed and reinforce how his words can transform fear into courage. Throughout our journey, we've recognized that fear is a universal experience that can hold us back from pursuing our dreams and living our fullest lives. Whether it's the fear of failure, anxiety about the future, or the pain of rejection, these feelings are very real and often overwhelming. Yet, in the face of these struggles, Jesus calls us to rise above our fears instead of being confined by them. We've examined various biblical examples, from the terrified disciples during the storm to Mary's courageous acceptance of her calling, each illustrating how trust in God can lead to strength and peace. Jesus reassured his followers not only through his words but also through his actions. He calmed storms, healed the brokenhearted, and faced his own fears with unwavering faith. These moments remind us that fear itself does not define us, rather, it is how we respond to it that shapes our journeys. Moreover, we learn that fear can serve as a stepping stone for growth. By confronting our anxieties, whether they be in academic challenges, personal relationships, or health issues, we can find opportunities for transformation. When we dare to step out of our comfort zones, like speaking openly about our struggles or pursuing new paths, we embrace the courage that comes from faith. In encouraging you to write down your fears and pray for strength, we've highlighted the importance of reflection and connection. Acknowledging your fears is not a sign of weakness, it is a powerful act of bravery. And by sharing your journey with others, you not only lighten your own load but also inspire those around you to confront their fears too. As you carry this message forward, remember that Jesus' words are an invitation to trust in God's greater plan. They remind us that we are never alone in our struggles, divine support is always within reach. With faith as your foundation, you have the potential to turn your fears into fuel for personal growth and deeper connections. So as you navigate life's challenges, hold tightly to the mantra, "Be not afraid." Let it echo in your heart as a source of empowerment and hope. Trust in your journey, believe in your ability to overcome obstacles, and remember that on the other side of fear lies a world filled with endless possibilities. Embrace this call to action, step forward with courage. Face each day knowing that with Jesus at your side, you can transform what frightens you into something beautiful, a story of resilience and faith waiting to be shared. Your journey matters, don't be afraid to live it fully.